There it is. Yeah. All right. Star Ocean 5 main story complete. All that's left is the post game. If I do decide to do it on screen, we'll see about it. Dude, that's a neat ending. That ending's really neat. They all go to Earth to pursue their dreams. That's a neat ending. What I really find interesting, I don't think I've talked about where Star Ocean 5 places in the timeline. So, in case you don't know, Star Ocean 4 is the prequel. It takes place the first in the chronological order. Star Ocean 4 is first. It leads into Star Ocean 1. Star Ocean 1 and 4 have a lot of ties together because there's like, you go to planet Roke on Star Ocean 4 and there's like, one of your party members is a fell pool, which is a race from the first game. So it goes Star Ocean 4, then it goes to Star Ocean 1, and in Star Ocean 2, I mentioned that Claude is a Kenny. He is the son of Ronix and Elia, who are characters from the first game. And eventually, he and Rena get together. We'll play Star Ocean 2 eventually, which, by eventually, I mean, like, probably a month or two from now. A month and a half, maybe. But, he and, Rena get together, and eventually, Emerson is made from Claude and Rena. So, this game doesn't take place after 3. It takes place after 2, before 3. Star Ocean 3 is the last game in the series, like, chronologically. And I think they did that because of the whole plot twist of like, oh, the everything at the Eternal Sphere and everything about like the simulation, the plot twist. I think that's why they did it. What I found interesting though, Moonbase, if you remember, if you played Star Ocean 3 or watched my Star Ocean 3 playthrough, Moonbase is a location in that game. It's a pretty iconic one too. It's it's a pretty important location. It's like where the experiment for the children, like Fate, Maria, and Sophia, the genes and stuff, and the experiments happened. That's where Robert Linegaard and all the fathers of the 3 subjects, that's where they did their research. I think it's really cool how Fiore, as a character, and Fiore's knowledge of signets and everything, led to that. That's really cool. So that shows that's how Moonbase came affected. Emerson said it was basically made for her. That's really cool. That's really, really neat. I like that. We didn't hear what happened to Fidel. I think it's probably after the credits. I thought it'd be before the credits. I can't remember if there's anything else, but definitely we have to hear what happens to Fidel. But yeah. Yeah, ending was neat. Okay. So... Alright, my controller can disconnect. That's fine. I haven't touched it. I guess I should talk about the game. I want to make one thing very, very clear. Actually, wait, are they going to hit me with the cutscene? I'll probably just wait if they will. Alright, now I'm going to just start talking. The game is, it's fine. This is not like a terrible game. It's not like an amazing game. Playing it again has, like, made me realize some things compared to other Star Oceans. I don't despise it. I never did despise it. The first time I played it, I was like, meh. It was like, okay. Playing it again, like, I would say I probably liked it maybe the same or maybe a little bit more. The gameplay is pretty fun. It's definitely not Star Ocean top tier. I definitely enjoy Star Ocean 3 and 4 more. I would even go as far to say this is probably on par with Star Ocean 2 and 1's combat in terms of how I enjoy it. Star Ocean 4 is the pinnacle of the series with combat. I love Star Ocean 4's combat. Blindsiding is a lot of fun, and Rush Mode is a ton of fun. And Star Ocean 3 did really good with the Fury system and the way HP and MP works, and battle skills and characters and stuff. This game's combat isn't bad. It's not like super standout, but it's enjoyable. I found the combat enjoyable, albeit it was easy because you could spam double slash to win, best thing ever. But, all things considered, all in all, it was an enjoyable combat. It wasn't, like, amazing, like, oh, the combat was phenomenal, but it wasn't bad. It was enjoyable combat to go through the game. Yeah, music is good, but the problem with the music is most of it is reused, and that's not, I don't think it's for fan service, I think it's literally budget. Which is unfortunate, but you know, the tracks that they do have in this game exclusive are pretty good. But yeah, the graphics, I don't care about graphics, but the graphics in this game, like, it's weird. Because I think the art style looks interesting. Like, I don't think it looks amazing. The the art style looks better than 4. Maybe I don't like the human look of Star Ocean 4. I feel like their character models look a little weird. But I feel like the art style looks like passable, but the in-game models look pretty meh. It's clear this game is on a budget, so I'm not going to go into it that much. And now we get to the story and the characters. The characters in this game, they're just fine. Like, Emerson's clearly the best character. He's not even, like, an amazing character, but he's a pretty good character. Like, Emerson's a pretty good character. Fidel's, like, a fine protagonist. I don't think Fidel's, like, super, super interesting. I also don't think he's a bad protagonist. He's definitely better than Edge. And probably, like, around the same as Fate. Because Fate is unbearable in the very beginning of the game, but Fate gets better. He's probably on par with, like, you know, Claude and Roddick, just okay, fine. Star Ocean's never been known for having, like, super amazing characters. But, you know. And then, like, Victor, Fiore, Anne, and Mickey, they're all just fine as well. Because, like, they have their moments. Like, in the main story, I think the main problem is the main story. I think the main story doesn't do these characters justice, because I found that the private actions were actually, some of them were pretty funny. Like the one we saw today, we saw it today, but it was in the last session with Emerson getting drunk and then Anne reminding him of the meeting with someone while he was drunk. That was good. And then Anne being interested in cute stuff. And then, like, you know, seeing, like, Victor, pretty funny as private actions. I might have to be quiet. Oh no, there's just more credits. All right. Oh no, it is the end. But yeah, I think the private actions they're not, like, amazing or anything. No, please don't copyright my video. I think the private actions in this game are, like, they're decent, you know? They're decent. I wish the game did better in the main story with the characters, and I just wish that, because the characters have potential. They're just fine at the end of the day. They're not super, other than Emerson. Emerson's pretty good. But they're not, like, even Emerson, though, is, like, robbed of, like, his character, because, like, the game is just, like, it's rushed. I think that's really what it comes down to. The main story in this game, I don't have any problem with the premise. You know, Fidel finds a girl, alien invasion, they're trying to get this girl and use her for whatever, like, and they're trying to protect her. I don't have any problem with the plot revolving around Relia. Do I think the other characters should have gotten their moments in the story? Yes, I do. But I don't have any problem with the plot mostly revolving around Relia. You know why? Because this game, playing this game again, has reminded me, this game is very much similar to another game I love, which is Tales of Graces. Tales of Graces, obviously, starts off with Sophie, who, spoiler alert for Graces, but the plot mostly revolves around Sophie. Sure, like, Asbel gets some focus, and sure, like, Malik, Pascal, Sharia, and Hubert, like, they get their minimal focus, and Richard gets a lot of focus. But, like, 70% of the plot is about Sophie. And the reason why I'm fine with that is because Sophie is a really interesting character, and seeing the other characters bounce off Sophie and teach her these things is really, really good. Playing this game has reminded me, this is like this is Star Ocean. This is like Tales of Graces. This is very similar to Tales of Graces, but done so much worse. I feel like where the game falls flat, other than being, it's being rushed, I'll talk about that in a bit, but the game just, like, it doesn't do much to make Relia a character. They kind of consider Relia, they treat her like a plot device. Like, oh, Relia's here for the sake of the plot, like, using her as a tool. They had so many times where they could have made something deep. Like when Fidel was talking to his dad in that private action, and when Fidel's dad died, and Daryl was talking to his son about, like, oh, Fidel, find what it is you have to protect. That reminded me a little bit of Asbel, except Asbel didn't get to talk to his dad like that. They could have went into Fidel, like, wanting to protect Relia. I understand that Fidel and Relia had a family, and, like, they were trying to build a family, and obviously he was, like, protecting her. But the game didn't really do a good job of showing that. It didn't do enough effort to make that believable. The game kind of just told you, like, this is the plot, this is what it's supposed to mean. It didn't explore the themes enough. And really, it just doesn't feel like a character. Like, she's not, I don't hate her, but I don't love her. She's just like, they don't really do much to show her learning about the world and like other stuff. And that's because the plot is just so rushed. I'm gonna have to stop talking. I'll talk about this later.
Fidel's now diligently studying to become an officer in the Federation's military. Truth be told, we'd already accept him as a foot soldier, but he says he won't settle for anything less than being a crewman on a battleship. Now, I'm not one to balk at lending my friends a hand, but this is a battle he needs to fight on his own. Prove that I was right to believe in you and get your butt up here, Fidel.
Hey there. Your snack's ready.
Excellent. Either when this is done.
You'll burn out studying like that.
Miki, you barely try at all. I bet you'll never transcend Emerson Aran like that.
What about just being your wife?
What did you say?
Nothing. Nothing important. I said we should both try our hardest.
Yeah, let's. Great. Finished. I'll take that snack now.
By the way, this ending is different depending on who you have the highest affinity with. If you don't do any private actions, I did a few, but not much that influenced affection. So I got Miki. Which honestly fits. Fidel and Miki are like the ones meant to be, so I think it makes sense. Although Anne would have been my second choice. There it is, Finn. Is there another thing after this, or do I just leave the screen here? Guess I just leave it here. Okay, well, the game is like... So, yeah, I just feel like the game is rushed. The story in this game. I don't have a problem with the premise. I don't have a problem with the war. But things happen way too fast. You start the game, you know, you get introduced to Fidel, get introduced to Miki really quick, and then you, like, have to protect Stahl. That's all good and fine, you know, like, people invading Stahl, you get that. Then you go to Medoc, I think it is, and then when you go to Medoc, you meet up with Victor. That's all fine. The pacing's fine so far. And then you go to Central Razulia, meet with Daryl, who's the captain of the whatever, Razulian army or whatever. And then the game has you, like, backtrack the Stahl, and that's when it just gets really fast. Like, suddenly, you know, you're fighting, you constantly, like, defend the town, you defeat Eidolon. I think after defeating Eidolon is when things go rough. Because defeating up to Eidolon, like, up to when you find Relia and up to when you defeat Eidolon's leader, that's all fine. The pacing's okay for that moment. But then after that, things get really rough. Like, after that, it's like, you gotta meet up with Fiore again, then you gotta learn more about Relia. Anne and Emerson come, the way they're introduced is super rushed. It's just, like, way too fast. The game, like, doesn't give you enough time to, not process necessarily, you understand what's happening. The game doesn't give you enough time to, like, what's the, crud, I just had the word and I forgot it. To care, I guess. To get invested, that's the word I want to use. The game doesn't give you enough time to get invested. Like, you don't care about, like, the Trey-Kerr. I wish it explored the Trey-Kerr war with Razulia more. The game doesn't give you enough reason to care about any of the realms, or it doesn't give you enough reason to care about the characters, like Daryl, which I talked about. Him dying meant nothing because they didn't really explore him that much. Like, the game didn't give you enough time. It just went, like, once it did a plot point, like, alright, on to the next thing, on to the next area, and everything. And then the space section at the very end of the game, like, it did nothing. It just didn't feel like anything. And that's not only because there were, like, no cutscenes. But once you reach the Charles de Gaulle, it's very much like, oh, General Alma's bad. He wants to use Relia for his own personal use. And scientists suck. The psychopath scientist that came at the end, really left field. And I know it's Star Ocean, so I don't think left field is the right word to use. But the game, like, the villains are just awful. That guy that, like, had really bad voice acting or whatever. I think his name was, like, Pavine or something. Kronos, like, they weren't super interesting. The scientists were, like, super interesting. they touched on a couple of stuff that could have been interesting. Like, they talked about, like, researching, like, when they brought in Aurelia's parents, and they talked about, like, I think Fiore said something like, that guy's a disgrace to humanity, which made me realize it could have been a really interesting theme if they went into why the scientists are doing this, or what are General Alma's motivations. But no. They just, like, it's just like, oh, he's bad because he's bad. That's it. But yeah, I didn't really get much out of the plot. And normally, when the plot is not that great, I can be like, hey, the characters will make it better. But honestly, as I said, the characters have a lot of potential, but they're just not it. They're fine at best. And even Emerson can't carry this game. Emerson's like a good character, probably, at best. But he's not even like an amazing character. He doesn't carry the game. So, I hate them being hard on the game, but like, you know, I just think if the game had more time, like, I don't normally ask games to be longer. But I think what the story this game wanted to tell, it should have been longer. I think they shouldn't have told a grand scale story like this. They promised a grand scale story, but it doesn't feel grand scale because it's so rushed and the game is too short. So I think if they either told a story that could fit that time slot, or if they just made the game longer, which, you know, I know budget is a problem in everything. And another thing I want to talk about, two things actually. Didn't care about Fidel and Miki's relationship, like they tried to show several times. Like, even though, again, they didn't really explore the characters all that much, and their relationships and stuff. And I don't want to say this, like, you know, a bad thing, because Star Ocean's never been amazing with characters, but even Star Ocean 3 had some good characters. I liked Maria, I liked Nell, I even, like, kind of liked Fate. Even still, Star Ocean 3's characters just felt more memorable. And Star Ocean 4's are definitely worse. Star Ocean 4 has a lot of characters I don't like. I think the only characters I'm, like, okay with, like, even Miracle, I like Miracle and Raimi's fine, but even Miracle and Raimi have their moments where I hate them. I just think the writing of Star Ocean 4 is bad. I don't really blame the characters of 4, I just think the writing of that game is pretty awful. But yeah, so definitely that's how I feel about the game. So what do I give this game? You're probably all wondering. Probably a straight 5 out of 10. Just average. I think I just give this an average score, 5 out of 10. It was a fun game. It was fun to play. I didn't regret playing it. I'm glad I got it on the channel. Like, I'm glad I played it. Definitely. I'm glad I've relived it. It was good. I enjoyed it. However, I wouldn't recommend this game. If you're asking me, like, oh, would you recommend Star Ocean 5? I'd be like, probably not. Unless you played the other Star Ocean games and want to give it a try. Do not play this to get into Star Ocean. You'll be disappointed and you'll probably think the series is bad. So I would not recommend this as a newcomer entry. And I also, like, if you were to ask me, I'd be like, hey, if you like Star Ocean, give it a shot. Because I think that's the only reason I do like it. Because it's a Star Ocean game. But even then, it, like, it just feels really rushed. And I think if it was, like, a smaller scale side game, it would have been great. I think they should have made this like a side game, not a AAA game. They promised a big, grand Star Ocean 5, a AAA game, like 3 or 4, but this one doesn't feel like it. If this was like a side game, I'd be a lot easier on it. I wouldn't be as criticizing of it. And another thing I want to talk about, the planets. I'm normally, like, I don't really care, like, that the world isn't as big as 4, but at least, like, have, like, a couple of planets. I just wish, I know Star Ocean 3 didn't have many planets either, but, like, I'm fine with the world, but make the world more interesting. Again, they should have explored the world and the characters better, and they should have, like, not rushed the plot and make you care about everything. It's kind of hard to care about everything. It's just like, hey, keep moving, the plot keeps going. It's like, you know, rushed so it can fit this time slot. So it's disappointing. I wish, my biggest wish for this game is that it was like a side game. I just wish this was a side game, like, not a main line. Like, this could have been an entry between 4 and 5. I hope Star Ocean 6 is good. I hope Star Ocean 6 can kind of put it up in an upswing. Because, like, 4 had problems, but 4 was still a good game because the combat was fun. The combat of 4 is, like, one of the only saving graces. Like, everything else is, like, decent. But, yeah, I mean, 4 has nice planet exploration. So, exploration in 4 is also good. But, I hope 6 is good. We'll have to find out, won't we? So, yeah, there you go. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm actually going to load. Can I not, like, leave this screen? I'm about to load my game and see what happens. Because I'm pretty sure the post-game dungeon should open. Oh, my remote was off. Can I leave the screen now? Hello? Do I just stay at the screen? Oh, it does go away! What happens now? Yeah, to continue your adventure in the Eternal Sphere! See? Eternal Sphere! This is basically like, hey, Star Ocean 3 revealed that everything is a simulation. This is proof that it takes place before Star Ocean 3. Because the way Star Ocean 3's ending is, how would the series continue after Star Ocean 3? Load the data you saved after arriving in the deepest recesses of Chronos Sickle. Return to the entrance to the parallel dimension transport to Charles de Gaulle. Alright. Anything else, or is that it? No, that's it. Alright. So yeah, main story's done. I'll probably do Maze of Tribulations at some point. But no promises on that. It might come later than I expected, but we shall see. But yeah, those of you watching on YouTube, I hope you all enjoyed. I enjoyed this playthrough. This playthrough was great. I really enjoyed it. Like, again, not an amazing game. It was a nice little quick game to do on the channel. It's a Star Ocean game still. I still... It doesn't even have, like, sentimental value to me. Like, I'm not even, like, super attached to the game, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time with it, and I hope you all enjoyed it too. So, yeah, if I don't do Maze of Tribulations for whatever reason, I hope you all enjoyed. I'll be doing lots of Star Ocean in the future. Star Ocean 2 will be uploaded. I'll do the Star Ocean 2 Redux probably, like, in July or August. Whenever I have free time, because 3 Hopes comes out. I don't know how long 3 Hopes is gonna be, and I'm also playing Dragon Quest 11, which is a long game as well. Although I'm, like, already 40 hours in that game. But, so Star Ocean 2 Redux is going to be happening soon, and I'll Redux Star Ocean 4 sometime in the fall, and maybe I'll do the first one Redux before 6. Either way, I'll play 6 day of release. So maybe look out for Maze of Tribulations. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe after Star Ocean 2 Redux I'll do it. We'll see. I'm not promising that. If not, this is a good way to end the playthrough, I think. You know, it's been a fun time. I enjoyed playing the game again. Like, even if the story was rushed, and the characters could have been better, and even if the gameplay was just, like, enjoyable, I still enjoyed my time with it. I'm glad I got this game on the channel. It's a Star Ocean game still, and honestly, this playthrough did a lot better than I thought it would. Like, I at least got some views and comments on this. I didn't expect to, but hey, it's Star Ocean. Star Ocean does really well on my channel. A lot of people love seeing Star Ocean, and I'm glad you all do, because I enjoyed playing Star Ocean. Plenty of more Star Ocean on the way. It sucks that there are only 6 games. It sucks that there aren't enough Star Ocean games, because the one thing my channel is known for getting a lot of views for, I can't really make much playthroughs of. It sucks. Dude, I'm gonna have to play Second Evolution twice. I'm gonna have to do I'm gonna do Claude's story, because I want to relive when I did my playthrough on YouTube. I'm gonna have to do Arena story playthrough of Second Evolution as well. I'm gonna have to do 2 Star Ocean 2s, because of how limited Star Ocean is. I don't know. I'll figure it out, but, you know, that's a problem. But either way, other playthroughs if you want to look out for those or enjoy those. So, yeah, really hope you all enjoyed this. I did. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.